Good afternoon. So, I've been talking about dementia and Alzheimer's disease. I thought of doing something similar on the Alzheimer's disease or dementia. We have aging population all over. I've seen recently as many as 3 people 90 plus years of age. Interestingly enough, 2 out of 3 were still quite sharp, oriented, awake, came walking, so physically also decent. So I thought of doing a mini YouTube video on dementia, and the title of this one is Taking Steps to Prevent Dementia. Came across an article recently about exercise and dementia. There are many articles published on this particular subject in recent past. And every physician tells people that the best thing is to exercise, exercise, exercise. Again, if you're talking about weight loss, the exercise is important, but diet changes are more important. Somebody has said pathway to weight loss goes through kitchen, not through gym, because the calorie that you can spend are enormously less compared to what you can get by eating food. Just to give you some comparison, 16 French fries is equal to 31 minutes of bicycling, or 90 minutes of housework is equal to 52 peanuts. But I'm diverting. So I'm talking about dementia and prevention, and so I'm talking about taking steps to prevent dementia. So the article that I came across was related to how many steps are adequate, or how many minimum steps one should do to reduce the dementia. This particular article had a large group of people that they followed, almost 78,000 plus. So 78,000 is a pretty big number. Interesting enough, majority of these people were white, and data was collected. The average or the mean follow-up on these people was about 6.9 years. So it was a decent study. They included up to age 79. So the calculation was based on recorded steps, and they kind of split into purposeful walking versus incidental walking, which means if you walk from kitchen to the bedroom, bedroom to the dining table to the car, those are incidental walking, versus purposeful walking is doing actually an exercise. So the two things pop out. And so, as I mentioned, it was a fairly large group of people that they had collected the data from, 78,000. And they found out that the optimal number of steps, the minimum number of steps that one needs to take to prevent dementia was 3,800. And the maximum number of steps, and I'm rounding up both these numbers, was 9,800. So if you remember that most of the physicians tell people 10,000 steps is the best thing to walk, that still holds true. So 10,000 steps is number above which there is no added advantage for dementia prevention. So if you take minimum 3,800 steps, then reduction was 25%. If you take 9,800 steps, that was the best, above which there was no benefit. But again, remember, we talked about incidental versus purposeful walking. They also took into account the intensity of walking. So when I'm walking in the morning from my bedroom to the kitchen to get a cup of coffee, I'm taking some steps, but those are incidental steps. So 112 steps per minute. 112 steps per minute taken as an exercise are intensity related steps, and that was the minimum required. Again, they talked about doing this for minimum 30 minutes. So if you calculate actually 112 by 30, you will come approximately 3,400 steps. So the minimum steps required with an intensity of 112 steps per minute was 3,800. Maximum steps that were taken were 9,800 steps, above which there was no increased benefit for reduction of dementia. They did exclude, I think, few people that actually developed dementia within first 1 or 2 years of the study. So they kind of eliminated people that already had dementia started. So this article stresses again the importance of taking steps in form of exercise. There are many other things which people have tried to relate, whether it is Mediterranean diet or whether it is fruits and vegetable servings or number of servings, etc. But of course, the smoking, the alcohol, and being active are all related to taking steps to reduce dementia. But as an exercise is concerned, one must do a physical exercise with intention of doing exercise, intensity being 112 steps per minute for at least 30 minutes. So it doesn't have to be continuous 30 minutes. One could consider doing 10 minutes at each time, doing it 3 times a day. Or one could do it all 30 minutes at one time. And certainly there is nothing wrong in doing more than 3,800 steps. The 3,800 steps were the minimum required steps to reduce the incidence of dementia. And certainly maximum, which is almost double, is 9,800. Double the reduction is about 9,800 steps per minute. So again, the advice that has been given by our moms or in the past saying, eat your veggies, exercise, sound sleep, don't smoke, don't drink, don't get fat, are all pretty much essential steps to reducing the dementia. So I would say that healthy lifestyle, which includes a good diet, good exercise, and no addiction, is the best way to prevent the dementia. The question that arises, and I don't have the answer, is at what age one could consider doing exercise and hope to prevent. This particular study was not in younger people. The highest age that they included was 79. So essentially we know that even if you start late, you certainly can prevent dementia occurring later in life. Now again, this is not related to the early age dementia. We don't have studies for that, but this is for the late onset dementia that could be related to the vascular dementia or some other reasons. So my advice for taking steps to prevent dementia is exercise 30 minutes, walking, intensity of the exercise 112 steps per minute, and you should do it on all 7 days. So this is not impossible. I mean, doing weights, going to the gym, and equipment use may be difficult because one has to go to a gym or one has to set up a gym in your own home. But just walking with an intensity of 112 steps, it still can be done. When people took less steps, like 40, then the equation was changed. So essentially, one needs to walk with some intensity, some intention of doing exercise, and that certainly will prevent dementia. The moral of the story for today is that take steps, walk 112 steps per minute for 30 minutes minimum, maximum 9,800 steps per day, again for all 7 days a week, and that will help to prevent the dementia. Eating, smoking, alcohol, right weight are all essential, but in addition to that, exercise needs to be added. We'll talk about sleep and dementia in the future. Thank you for watching. If you like, please subscribe. Have a nice day.